What excites me as a landscape architect? I think it's the challenges that face us and the opportunities that we have to get ahead and to lead the way with our visionary kind of approach to problem solving.
I think it's the interface between community and landscape that's starting to, individual sense of self and the environment. And I think the richness at the edge of that is community. And I think after a long period of time of going very much into the individual and into the professions and into economy, there's a switch back towards community.
It's a very stimulating profession because it's a time of change, and the whole world is changing, but in particular New Zealand is going through greater urbanisation and a rethink about how we express ourselves in our cities and so on. So there's huge growth in terms of population, transportation, urbanisation, thinking about the environment. So there's a whole lot of issues that come together as landscape architects. We get to work on all these things.
I am excited because the imperatives of landscape systems and environmental systems have suddenly become front of house and suddenly become things that are required to be addressed if there's going to be a viable and livable future in cities. So I think instead of being an optional extra, as it sometimes has been considered, it's actually really central to survival of cities and the way people live in them.
I think it's a really interesting time for landscape architecture in that our industry is diversifying. I know for my team and my company, we're working across a whole range of sectors, from prisons to schools to environmental projects with mana whenua, iwi, and we're working in quite a broad spectrum of scales of projects as well. So moving into the future, and as per some of the presentations this morning, I think we're really diversifying, which is a really exciting time for us.
I think it's just generally dealing with the environment and the big picture of landscape, really, and the way it can sort of encapsulate just about all kinds of ideas that shape and mould society. I mean, it's so diverse. There's so many opportunities just to specialise in various aspects of it, but you sort of gain a lot of knowledge generally.
I think for me it's just, and the line of work that we're in at the moment, it's just a variety of projects that we're able to be involved with, whether it be with the community or different social groups. I guess in my line of work, I'm actually based in Australia, so I'm New Zealand landscape architect but working in Australia, and there's similar things going on over there, and there's obviously a huge amount of development happening, and just, I guess, putting our 2 cents in and getting into projects early and being able to have an influence on how these developments are progressing, and changing the way that communities interact in these spaces, and just how people see open space rather than just from getting from A to B, but actually integrating and activating these spaces.
It's the variety of work. I think I work up in Whangarei, and I'm a one-man band, and I get to do a whole variety of different types of projects. And I also have the opportunity to get out. I've always wanted to work outside, but not totally outside, so I can get out on nice weather days, get out to the coast, see beautiful beaches.
Just working with everyday people and as well as professional people, building a consensus. It's not just about one idea, it's a collective ideas and putting them together in a meaningful way.
I think it's the ability to really generate some positive change in communities, be it urban or rural. There's a whole range of ways in which we can work as a profession to improve the lives of people out there.
It's a time in the New Zealand and the world when landscape architecture is really coming to the fore, and it's being more highly regarded in every project, I think, that happens. And I think we've got recognition now where 10 or even 20 years ago we did not have, and we're having an input.